Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Ogor Mawtribes in Age of Sigmar Warcry, using the Black Powder's Buccaneers warband from Warhammer Underworlds as a starting point to build up a full functional 1000 point warband from. Gorlock Black Powder built a reputation by roaming the Penumbral Sea and plundering its ships with his crew. They found themselves washed up in the Harrow Deep after falling into a whirlpool in the Penumbral Sea. They realised that this labyrinth though was full of treasure, and with Gorlock seeking adversaries, his minions continued to loot absolutely everything. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so, leading our initial box set is of course the Ogor Gorlock Black Powder, the Ogre Man-Eater here. He's a fairly solid fighter, as you would expect for an Ogre hero. 30 wounds, defense 4, he's got a nice 4 attacks with strength 5 and 3/6 on the damage, and importantly, these do have a 2-inch range, so he's able to stay outside of an inch, forcing many enemies to have to spend a move to be able to attack him back. And he's also got a short ranged attack at 3 to 10 inch range, 2 attack, strength 4 with 2/4 on the damage. So all in all, he can put out quite a bit of hurt, and he's got enough sort of defense there in his wounds that he's going to stay on the table for a decent while. He's going to take some taking down. Now you do have your own special abilities with him, and Black Powder definitely is where a lot of the warband revolves around. You first of all got your Bird Strike, where you can pick one of your friendly fighters within 6 inch that has both the Black Powder Buccaneers and the Fly rune marks, so this will be Shriek, that we'll talk about in just a second. And that fighter gets to make a bonus move or bonus attack. For a double, pretty nice to be able to activate one of your other friendlies, sort of like a cheap version, although not an entire version, of Inspiring Presence. He then has a bunch of generic ogre abilities attached to him as well, things like Might Makes Right, where you can only use this if you've taken down an enemy fighter, and then you get to make a bonus move or bonus attack. On the Maw Path adds to your movement. You've then got Broadside, which is another one of his special abilities that will allow you to add 3 to the attacks of your next attack action made by this fighter that targets an enemy more than 3. So with one of your ranged attacks, which can really up the damage in that. And then lastly, Bull Charge is a triple where until the end of the fighter's activation you can potentially do some damage when you charge into an enemy. And so, as I mentioned before, our next fighter then is Shriek. This is the bird, the parrot of the party here, and this model does have the Beast and Fly rune mark along with the Black Powder's Buccaneers rune mark, so it's able to have the ability that we previously mentioned on the previous slide activated upon it. This is okay. Shriek is nothing too crazy. 3 attacks at strength 3, 1/3 on the damage. He does only have 3 defense and 6 health, so he's quite frail. However, the 10-inch move with Fly is really useful to have, just something able to move around the table, potentially stopping opponents, bringing on some reinforcements with special rules that require there to be outside of certain ranges of enemies and stuff like that, but also just having a flying model, being able to go and capture objectives and that stuff around the table is nice as well. After that, we then have KG, the first of 2 of our Noblars within the warband. Now KG does have a pretty cool attack in that it's 8-inch range and doesn't have a minimum range, so it can be used at range and in combat all the same, which is really cool. 2 attacks from this at strength 2, 1/3 on the damage is nothing fantastic, but it's cool to have a weapon in a warband that sort of acts like this, because it really does open options up on how you can do your attacking, especially considering that KG is a relatively frail character with 6 health and 3 defense. This is a cool thing to have. Now you do have a special ability for the Grots in the warband, and that is called Sick'em. This is a double where you effectively get to pick a visible friendly fighter with both Black Powder Buccaneers and the Frenzied rune marks, and give that fighter a bonus move or attack action as well. So another ability that's going to work on one of your little creature minions within the warband and get some extra power out of them for a double as well. Pegs is the other grot we've got in the warband to start with, and Pegs just has a 1-inch range but 3 attacks instead of the 2, and the same sort of strength and damage values and defensive values we have on KG, and of course he's still going to get the same ability as well, able to activate our little beast that is the monkey mage. And lastly, we do have Mage. This is the model that has the Frenzied Remark along with Black Powder Buccaneers, so it's able to be activated with that Sikkim ability from the 2 Grots. 4 attacks, strength 3, 1-3 on the damage. He's slightly better in combat than the 2 Grots themselves, and it's got 6 health, 3 defense, so nothing too crazy there at all either, but another way to get a small minion in and get lots of bodies surrounding the big ogres that are really going to be the big damage dealers. Looking at where to go next, we definitely want to bring in another ogre to the force, and what I really like for this particular warband is the Icebrow Hunter. Now, the Icebrow Hunter's got his own combat attack, so once again with a 2-inch range, it's nice to sort of play around with that, but also has 40 wounds as well, so really tough. You then got a short range attack as well that doesn't have a minimum range, so it can totally be used in combat, and is strength 5 with 2-4 on the damage, 2 attacks, so you got some really cool ways in how you can play with sort of this model activating and acting in combat. Now, for ability wise, we've got a lot of the generic ogre abilities that we've already talked about, like Might Makes Right on the Maw path, as well as Bull Charge, but importantly, the Icebrow Hunter has his own ability called Lead the Skull. You get to pick a visible friendly fighter with the beast remark within 4-inch, and they get to make a bonus attack action. This is pretty cool because this will affect, obviously, beasts we're going to talk about bringing in just a sec, but does actually affect mage as well. So another way that this fighter can actually interact with mage, which is not something that Black Powder himself can actually do. The last thing we're going to look to bring in is, of course, another beast, and this is going to be the Frost Saber. This is definitely going to be a much more powerful beast than Mange or Shriek within the warband. You've got 4 attacks at strength 4 with 2-5 on the damage here, and you've also got an 8-inch move, 16 health, defense 4, like I said, just much more powerful than the other beasts we've already talked about. Other than that, there isn't too much to write home about. This is going to be something that's going to generate extra attacks and moves with our other fighters, but definitely going to bring a bit more bulk to the force as well. And so our list today is going to have our heroes as the Icebrow Hunter and Gorlock Black Powder. For fighters, we've then gone with the Frost Saber, Shriek, and Mange, who have actually given the Divine Blessing of Fortitude. This will give the model an extra 4 wounds, helping keep him alive. The reason we've gone for giving this on Mage instead of KG and Pegs is because obviously we've got the 2 models there that can activate their ability to get Mage to get those extra attacks. And of course, lastly, in the Force, we do have KG and Pegs. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment them down below and we'll endeavour to get back to you. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and join our Discord server as well, linked in the video's description, for all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry content.